Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rachel Fiore here, mystical therapist, elite coach for high-profile people, and CEO of Masters of Self University. Welcome. We are going to discuss today about a very unhealthy, out of balance, distorted, dysfunctional masculine trait. It is a program that shows you are way out of balance with your masculine energy. Out of balance means you're way too much in that masculine with over intellectualization, intellectualizing everything. You don't have enough feminine energy to balance you. You're not grounded. You're not centered when you are trapped in your mind. Get out of your mind, drop into your heart. Thinking ruins everything. So, intellectualizing, rationalizing things, always having to understand exactly how, what, where, when, why. Guess what? Are you trapped in suffering, frustration? You're stuck in life, in your relationship, not moving forward. Intellectualizing anything doesn't heal it. When we rationalize and intellectualize, it isn't healing. Why is this? Why is it a bad thing? It's really understanding the deeper levels of what is going on. This is an aspect of energetics, in case you wanted to know. What is going on energetically inside of the body, healing cannot occur when you are talking about it, thinking about it. Over intellectualizing everything, over processing everything, over analyzing everything prevents you from moving forward, prevents a shift, prevents a transformational healing on any level from happening. You cannot think your way into well-being. Thinking is why you're in distortion and you're unhealthy and you're suffering and stuff to begin with. It's a trap. So a lot of times, what does over intellectualizing look like in your everyday life? Or who are the people? And this is especially for men. Hello, men. Welcome. It's time to wake up here. You need to learn this so you can start to shift, evolve, and heal. Expand and grow your emotional and spiritual maturity. You cannot do that through knowledge, through intellectualizing, through staying trapped in the mind. It doesn't happen. I don't care how much knowledge you have, or if you've read 10,000 books and you have 9 degrees. None of that means you are spiritually awakened. You're not a conscious, awakened being because you've gained a shit ton of knowledge. You're not. Knowledge is not the same thing as wisdom. So no matter how much you've learned, no matter how many books you've read on spirituality and the ego and waking up and how to heal yourself and mental illness and emotional wellness, it doesn't matter if you've read and studied 10,000 books. So here's how it usually shows itself. The over intellectualizing, trapped in way too much masculine energy, which is why you can't heal. Oh, look at how much I know. Look at how much I know. Oh, have you read so-and-so? Have you ever heard of this author? Have you ever heard of this teacher? Do you know who this coach is? Look here, I'm going to quote from all the 10,000 books I've read. And I'm going to try to make it seem like I am so smart and so awakened. I'm trying to impress you. I'm trying to impress anybody who listens to me. Look at what I've accomplished. Look at what I've achieved. I have all this knowledge. Now, this person may be showboating their, 6 degrees that they have, all the knowledge they've gained that way, the over intellectualizing, all the trapped in mental programs that they are. They're trying to impress and show off in that way because they are formally educated. Or it could be somebody who's not even formally educated, but I give the example, they're self-study, which is wonderful, by the way. But they're self-studied and they've read the 10,000 books, but they're trapped in distorted, dysfunctional masculine energy because they're trying to show everybody how fucking smart they are. You're never going to heal shit. You are not actually an evolved being just because you've gained a shit ton of knowledge and you can repeat and quote and spew it out all over the place. All you're doing is regurgitating other people's stuff to try to make yourself look intelligent. You wonder why you're so stuck. You're trapped in mind. You are trapped in mind. You are not in connection to your divine wisdom when you're trapped in the mind. So over intellectualizing, overthinking, showboating the knowledge that you've gained, letting everybody know, trying to get everybody in the room or on social media to see, oh my God, you're so smart, you know so much. When you're doing that, you are actually running a program of low self-worth insecurity, because you want everyone to think you're so smart. You want everyone to think you're so intelligent. So you spew off statistics, you quote left and right. Have you read this book? Do you know that author? You overtalk, you interrupt, you have these domineering personality traits in order to try to force people or convince people that you are oh so smart. And then you wonder why you're stuck in life or in your relationship or whatever it might be, or your career. This is part of the reason why. Okay. I really want you to see this. I really want you to see this. These are actual program, surface programs. The behavioral programs are the showboating and the quoting and the saying how smart you are and talking to people and interrupting and letting everybody know how much you read and blah, 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 blah. That's surface programs. Those are behavioral programs, but surface level programs. The deeper programs are, I actually lack confidence. I am insecure, and I actually have low self-worth issues that stem from my childhood. I have inner child wounds that I have yet to heal, which is why I need everybody to see how intellectual and smart and intelligent I am, and how educated I am, formal education or otherwise. Everybody needs to see how much I know. And I'm going to quote all these experts from around the world, from past history, present, whatever. I'm going to do that because I'm actually so fucking insecure that I need to convince everybody out there that I'm this confident, intelligent person that they should respect, because that's what, in a superficial way, makes me feel better about myself. That's what makes me feel better about myself. Do you see what a fake, fraud, and phony I am? Ooh, and people that run these programs are really good at convincing you that they're the real deal. Wake up. I want you to see through it. I want you to it doesn't even matter so much that you see through it in other people. Who cares? They have their own fucking lessons to learn. We are in the earth school. We're here to learn. They have their own lessons to learn. But for you, if you truly want to heal and you truly want to wake up, no, but for real, you really want to raise your emotional IQ, you really want to spiritually maturate and become more conscious, then you knock this shit off, because you look like a fucking idiot for anybody who is even half conscious. You know why? Because they can see right through the bullshit of the mask I'm trying to impress people. People who are truly, authentically confident don't give a fuck who they impress and who they trigger. Don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Because you know what? If I trigger you, guess what? Every single time we're triggered, there you go. There's the work. There, right there is where the work needs to be done within yourself. Period. End. If I am triggered by something, look at that. Thank you. And even if that person is a fucking asshole and they're doing some really terrible, shitty thing, if I am triggered by it, look at that. There's something I need to heal. That's showing me something about myself. There's where my work is. And it doesn't make them right. It doesn't make it okay if they're acting like a fucking asshole. That's not what we're talking about, though. Go deeper. I challenge you to go deeper, because only when you go deeper can you heal. See it more deeply than surface level bullshit. If I am actually triggered by that person right there, no matter how they're showing up, I have healing to do within myself. Boom. It's that simple. How do I know I have more healing to do? I have inner child wound. I'm fucking triggered by people. That's how. That is how you know. And we're not talking about anybody out there being right or wrong. We're talking about the reaction inside of your body. So one of the programs that is a domineering program, distorted, unhealthy, out of balance masculine, is domination, domineering. I have to dominate. I have to try to bully. I have to try to talk over. I have to compete. I have to try to show everybody how fucking smart I am. Instead of just loving yourself and being confident enough in what the knowledge you have gained, but are you walking your talk? That's the bigger question, because with over intellectualizing things, when people are trapped in mind and they're trying to use mind, a strategy, step 1, step 2, step 3, this is how I'm going to heal myself. You're never going to fucking heal. That's not how healing works. You can't think your way to wellness. You can't think your way to wellness. That is not how it works. You can't read 20 books on mental health, emotional health, on spiritual awakening, and then be woke. That's not how it fucking works. You can't be emotionally, mentally healthy just because you've read 20 books or 2,000 books. That is not how it works. Knowledge fucking heals nothing. It is the integration of knowledge. It is becoming what you've learned. That's what it means to walk your talk. When you integrate knowledge to where it becomes who you are, how you show up, the beingness that is you, now you're moving through life with wisdom. Wisdom is where the power is. So if you overthink, you over intellectualize, you try to problem solve everything in your life by strategy, steps, action steps, you're never going to fucking heal. And for those of you who right now are like, oh, bullshit, because I did, give it time. Shut up. Stop with the overthinking. I'm telling you right now, overthinking isn't good. Why are you still struggling? If you make surface level temporary improvements, I'm not talking about that, because you're going to fall right back into your old programs, your old wounds that stem from childhood, inner child wounds and wounds, trauma wounds that have not healed yet. You will fall back into those cycles. Guess what? Because that's how the programs themselves work. That is how your subconscious programs work. There's no such thing as you making surface level or taking surface level action steps, thinking your way through healing and healing jack shit. That is not how healing works. It's not how it works. So overthinking, over intellectualizing, over analyzing things, being rational. If I just have to stop it. Get out of your mind. Mind cannot heal. That's not how transformational healing works. It doesn't come from mind. All of your problems come from mind. Healing doesn't. So if you showboat, if you have to prove or convince everybody that you're so successful and smart, if you have to prove your intelligence and constantly quote. And by the way, quoting is, I'm not talking about referencing or quoting spiritual teachers and whoever, anybody out there that you've gained knowledge from, and you're honoring them because that's where you got your knowledge from. That is an honoring. That's a way of oneness. That's honoring. It's the way of honoring. So we need to honor our teachers, those who are offering their wisdom. Of course, I am not telling you to steal people's shit, regurgitate, and act like you're the smart one. Knock that fucking shit off too. Give me a break. You absolutely should be quoting and referencing who you get your material from. If you're learning from somebody, quote them. That's a level of honoring, and that shows a level of maturity, emotional and spiritual maturity. Okay, so don't misunderstand, don't misinterpret the teaching. It's when you're quoting 90 people to prove how fucking well read you are, you're insecure, you have low self-worth, you have not healed inner child wounds, and you probably suffer from a very rigid, most likely father, it can be mother, very rigid, domineering parent who was extremely critical, if not also abusive. That's most likely what you experienced. There's a very good chance that that's what you experienced as a child for people who show up as I have to prove to everybody how goddamn smart I am so that I can get respect and followers, and I can give, God, you have a lot of healing to do. And you're never going to heal any of it through intellectualizing, through gaining knowledge. It's not how healing works. So I want you to wake up to that. You need to wake up to that if you actually want to evolve, heal, become higher, more highly conscious than you were before. You have to get out of your mind and drop into your heart and learn what it is to allow the wisdom and the intuition to come through you. It doesn't come through your fucking mind. How crazy you are, how out of control you feel, how much anxiety you have, the depression, the sicknesses, the illnesses, the suffering, the shitty relationships, the fact that you can't heal your relationship, the fact that you can't find a healthy relationship, all comes from mind. The fact that you can't heal your traumas comes from mind. Get out of your mind. You have to learn what it means to get out of your mind and drop into your heart. Okay? And over intellectualizing, and again, I'm going to say this one more time. Do not misinterpret the teaching. I'm not even going to fuck pay attention to anybody. I'm saying this again, don't misinterpret the teaching that somehow reading and studying and education, oh, you're saying don't read, study, or be educated. Not at all. Education is priceless. And there are all forms and different levels of education, formal or otherwise. Fuck our educational systems, by the way. They suck. They need to, those paradigms need to be shattered. We need a lot of improvement in that area. It doesn't mean education itself. The systems are shitty, not wisdom. Education is fucking critical for everyone. And there's all different kinds of education, formal and otherwise. Wisdom comes in all forms. Okay? So I am not telling you don't gain knowledge and don't read and don't study, but integration of the knowledge is key. So if only thing you're doing is running your courses, teaching classes, maybe you're a coach, maybe you're an influencer, maybe you're a whatever you are, but all you're doing is reading a shit ton of books, regurgitating information, and trying to prove to everybody how intellectual and smart you are, you're an idiot. You've missed it, completely fucking missed it. You are functioning at a low level of consciousness, but you're masking as somebody who's very conscious. Why? Because you've read 10,000 books. That doesn't make you a conscious being. That's not what makes you conscious or awakened or healed. That is not how it works. So what does work? What does work? A lot more videos on that. This is just for you to focus on the fact that if you are someone who over intellectualizes everything and you're trapped in your mind and you overanalyze and you overthink, or you try to prove your self-worth, you try to prove your status by reading and studying and showboating that to everybody and quoting left and right, especially if you're out in the world as some sort of a teacher, coach, or educator, or influencer, or whatever, then you need to get your shit together, because we need to do better. And we ourselves as individuals need to be better in order to do better. And to be better means knock off trying to prove to everybody how much you know. Because when wisdom actually flows through you and you're healed enough, you don't have to prove anything to anybody. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. And it doesn't mean you don't answer. People get curious. What kind of credentials do you have? What kind of education you have? What kind of background? Are you actually qualified? Those are really good questions, and they're very important. You should be qualified. Absolutely, you should be qualified, trained, educated enough, awakened enough if you're going to have anything to do with health and wellness and other people's, influencing a person's psyche, their emotional health, their mental health. You absolutely should be educated enough. But education, I am not giving you a linear masculine definition of education. There is a tremendous amount of education and training that you can gain in a multitude of ways. The point is that you get the education. So this isn't the same thing as saying, hey, I'm curious about this person. Are they really qualified? Like, what's your education in this? How are you an expert in this, really? Yeah, so here's my education level. Here's what I do. Here's what I am. Here's how much experience I have. That stuff's important. But that's coming from a different place. I hope you can see that. I hope you can start to see the difference. That comes from a very, very different place than having to spout out everything you've ever done just so people can think you're. That comes from ego, which means it actually comes from a lack of confidence in yourself, insecurity, Insecurity is oozing out of your aura and you don't even know it. You think you're fooling people. Very insecure people do run these programs and show up with these types of behavioral programs. Very insecure, very low self-worth. So I need to prove myself, prove myself. Look at how smart I am. Instead of wisdom flows through, I am the messenger of wisdom. Here it is. There's nothing to prove to anybody. You don't like it? Fucking don't listen. I don't care. I want you to see it for what it is. I challenge you to go to the deeper teaching of this and get it on a deeper level. I challenge you to get it on a deeper level. Why? So you can stop running the very programs that are preventing you from healing. Staying stuck and trapped in the mind prevents you from actually healing, elevating, and becoming more conscious. I don't care how much you promote and tell people you're fucking conscious, you're not. Over intellectualization, there is no such thing. It doesn't exist. In a highly conscious, highly evolved person, it doesn't exist. Authentically evolved, highly conscious, enlightened people do not run programs of over intellectualizing. They don't exist. That is the takeaway. So how conscious are you really? Take a deep breath, drop into your heart center, connect to your heart, sit there for the next 2 minutes and allow yourself to feel what it feels like to be connected to the energy of wisdom, because that comes from heart center, not from mind. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for listening. Be sure to share this with everybody you know. Give it a like, ask your questions, post some comments, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.